Hey everybody, X-Ray Vision here coming to you live from Cuatro Cinco Studios in an exciting week in Hex and Pulse Chain and Pulse X. Things are going crazy right now, absolutely crazy. Yeah, just wanted to get on here, our weekly tech talk. Unfortunately, David Feeder will not be joining us this week because he is hung over from all the Hex conferencing going on with Maddie Allen. I want to give a shout out to Maddie Allen and say thank you so much for putting together the online Hex conference. I've been learning a lot watching that. 6 hours a day of fresh streaming content. Like, how can you go wrong, right? Anyways, let me get the link out here to YouTube. And then we'll just start taking questions and talking to the chat and see who's going to join us. I sent out some invitation links. Hopefully Rags will be joining us whenever he can. And then a couple other people I sent out some links to. So if we're lucky, we'll have some surprise guests this week. Like I said, there's so much going on right now with the sacrifice and everything. Let me put this. I'm gonna put the link up on Twitter here, and there we go. And we are live, and I got the link up on Twitter, so all the Hexicans on Twitter can join us. So anyways, yeah, wow, it's been fun. It's been awesome. We got Goosink in the chat, first to like, first to comment, ready to go. Good to see you, Goosink. The guy's like a brother to me. I love that guy. We a lot of people a lot of my onboards and a lot of my friends and family this week have been asking me, hey, I've got $300. What do I do? I got $500. What do I do? And I've been telling them, most of them, to stack as much liquid hex if it's a small amount. And then up till today at 5 p.m., that's when you want to get the PulseX sacrifice in. So I've been telling them, a lot of them, in my opinion, if you put if you have staked hex right now, especially before the launch, then the stake hex doubling is going to be worth a ton of money on both chains, especially if you stake it out past 2 years. Hopefully, ideally, you'd want to stake it for at least the average, which is around 6 years right now. You want to stake it out for 6 or 7 years minimum. And obviously, you can't beat the 5-5-5-5 stakes. If you can afford to delay your gratification for 15 years, then whatever you sacrifice right now, whatever you stake right now is going to be worth an incredible amount of money, in 15 years on both those chains, plus any of the other forks or chains that we're on in 15 years. But if it's liquid hex that you're stacking right now to copy, that's not a bad thing. That'll make you rich as well in the future too, in my opinion. But you right now, today especially, you're getting 10,000 points of PulseX for $1. And so if you got 10,000 points today, you can always convert that in the future to Hex and stake it. You can always convert that in the future to Pulse if Pulse goes on, has a dip or a crash, So liquid PulseX today is the best thing that you could invest in my humble opinion. Again, not financial advice, yada, 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 all that stuff. If you make money, you keep it. If you lose money, then those are your tears. This is all on you. And, this is crypto, if the government comes out tomorrow and decides that it wants to make it really, really hard to move your money in and out of exchanges, then the price of all the crypto is going to crash. If there's a bug found in the code of Hex or Bitcoin or Ethereum, the price is going to crash. So these are the risks that we're taking with this new technology. And like I said, I tell people start with a minimum of a 2-year time frame in your mind, and that 2-year time frame will give you a chance for price appreciation and for interest to overcome the crazy fees, at least on the Ethereum chain right now. And in 2 years, the amount of money that me and my friends and my family put into Hex 2 years ago, uh, the stakes that have come out that were 2 years have been phenomenal. I mean, people that have put in $200 to $500 are pulling out thousands and tens of thousands of dollars right now. And so that 2 years, even though we don't like the fees, in fact, we hate the fees on Ethereum right now, we're still getting plenty of profit even after paying those horrible, horrible fees. So, with that being said, if I had 100, 200, 300, $1,000 to invest today, I would be going into the sacrifice today. Tomorrow, I don't know. Depends on what the price of Hex is, honestly, where I would put that money. Going back into the comments here, we got Lewis Hex. Hello, my Hexkins. We got Four Needs, Janica, a good friend in the Hex group up in Salt Lake. Susie Q, shout out to Susie Q. Hi, Hex Ray. Yes, conference is amazing. Maddie's doing such a great job. I remember last year's conference that he did online, and I was still, driving truck. I was still working at that time, and I was able to just hang out online with all my Hexagon friends and just soak up all the information. There's so many awesome perspectives. There's so many awesome little tidbits and information that people are bringing to the community right now. It's just awesome. Dan's got a question. Will my Hex that I stake right now be staked on the new chain? I can end 2 duplicated stakes. Yes. So the Hex that is locked up in a smart contract, that smart contract is going to be duplicated on the new chain. And so the stakes are going to be duplicated and the liquid Hex is both going to be duplicated. So if you made a stake today for 5 years, let's say that you locked up $1,000, converted it to Hex, staked it for 5 years, then in 5 years you would have a stake to go and end on the Pulse network, and then you'd also have a stake to go and end that same day on the Ethereum network. So yes, they both get copied over. So that's awesome. Yeah. Let me give you my thoughts on the conference so far while we wait and see if any guests join us. My thoughts on the conference so far have been amazing. Like the first day, Bitfinesse, you're my hero, you're my brother, my tanker buddy. You're on fire. You were awesome. Awesome. Hexo is always a real genuine, awesome guy to hear from. I love hearing from Hexo. And then of course the socials or the groups of people getting in there, that's awesome. That's been really cool. So I'm just going to send a couple of invites here. There was one group of people that I'm not going to call out by name, but there's one group of people that unfortunately, I really don't know why they were on a Hex conference. They seem to be just sitting there and not out and out saying that they didn't like Hex or that they didn't believe in Hex so much as they just kind of sat there and wavered and milly mouthed about, oh, well, I'm not convinced that Hex is great and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, this is a Hex conference. Okay. I don't know why Maddie invited some of the people onto the conference that are there in that one group, but I bet without saying any names, I think that you guys know who I'm talking about. But anyways, aside from that, and even in that group of people, there was one person on that panel that was defending Hex really well and sticking up and being like, talking about the benefit of having the OA, talking about um, all the things that Hex has going for it, you know, and I really appreciated that. So I'm pretty sure if that person hears this, they know who they are as well. And Dan says, nice, nice. Let's put this up on here. Susie Q. A shout out to Matty Allen for organizing this and really donating his time. It's awesome. Shout out to Crypto Spa on the Hex 5555 tour. They're doing awesome job onboarding and meeting people. And that was one of the interesting things I heard from them as well. Or actually from Kareem. Kareem mentioned that when he went out on the tour with the 5555 tour, he was surprised at what a tiny, tiny bubble, not just crypto is, but especially Hex. Because there's a lot of people right now that are hearing about the meme coins, and there's a lot of people right now that are hearing about Bitcoin and dipping their toe in the water and starting to understand some of the aspects of cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. However, there's so few people that understand what Hex that even understand that Hex has been doing this amazing job for 2 years, working the way that it's supposed to, changing a ton of people's lives, people that I know personally and people that I've met online and been friends with online. It's been this huge uh, miraculous invention and product that people can use, and I think it's awesome. TCF62 says hi from the UK. Just sack and relax. Just sack and relax. That's good advice. Why not just sack and relax? Why not stake and chill? Once you see that money working for you every single day and just accumulating wealth and accumulating interest, it's awesome, and it really does change your mind frame. And it actually, in my experience, it takes delayed gratification, which is something that usually does not make you feel good, and it changes it in your brain to almost getting like a little hit of dopamine. Every time you stake some Hex out into the future or sacrifice some crypto for Pulse, you actually get this little hit of dopamine and adrenaline, where it used to be, if you thought about delayed gratification, like exercising or diet or saving your money for later, it's like a hit of cortisol or stress. Dan says, I missed the Pulse sack, but already sacked for Pulse X. What would be a good play to get me Pulse? That's it. If you didn't get Pulse, then the best thing you can do today, especially today, before the before the clock ticks over at midnight UTC, which is I think that's 7 p.m. Eastern time, 6 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Mountain, and 4 p.m. Pacific time. But if you sack today, you're getting 10,000 points for $1 plus your bonus, depending on where you stand in the ranking. And that's an opportunity to accumulate some liquid dry powder in the future that you can buy the dips on Pulse. You can buy the dips on eHex, and you can buy the dips on Hex in the future, because it's really, at the end of the day, it's still all about T-shares. There is liquidity providing and yield farming where you can lock up the same, equal amounts of the same coin on PulseX when it launches, and that will give you a yield. But it's so hard to beat the returns of a 5555 stake on Hex, even with these new things coming out. And some of the things that people are wanting to build on top of Pulse, the loaning platforms and things like that. And only time will tell. But as of right now, absolutely nothing beats T-shares. And if you can stock up on some Pulse X at a discount, if you can stock up on some Pulse at a discount, or heck, if you bought that last dip of Hex around 12 and 13 cents, that you made in the future, you're probably going to be very, very happy and thankful that you did that. So you just basically we're looking for stuff on sale, we're looking for stuff at a discount, and we're just adding it, we're just accumulating and putting filling our bags as much as possible. And then Eric, wow, I'm not sure how to pronounce the last name. I'm gonna go with Cares or Cars. It says yes, you get 2 stakes, but they will start a separate life after the hard fork, i.e., price and APY. Oh, that's a really good point, Eric. When our stakes get copied onto the 2 different chains, they're going to have a different APY and a different price. So the eHex and the Hex are going to have 2 different prices. And depending on the stakers in each of those chains, you're going to get a different APY. For instance, the Pulse network, on the Pulse network, the Hex average stake length might be 8 or 10 years, you know, and it might be shorter on the Ethereum chain. Or you could have a lot more stakers and a lot more T shares on the Pulse chain because it's more affordable, especially off the bat. So you would be getting, you'd be sharing your interest with more people on one chain and less interest on the other chain. So yeah, that even though you're setting, even though you're locking up the same amount of economic value today for the same amount of time, when those stakes mature and become available, you're going to have 2 completely different values. So that's a really good point to make. Thank you very much, Eric. Eric, cars. I'm going to go with cars. Let me know in the chat in the comments if I got that right. All right. And, if you guys are here, if you guys enjoy any of this, please hit the like. Please subscribe to my channel so that more people can find it. Get a life claim or pay the IRS diamond hands. So I'm not sure what FM Alexander's referring to. Obviously, the longer you hold on to this right now, the less that you owe in taxes. You technically owe money in taxes the moment that you end the stake or trade one currency for the other, technically. And Eric Carr says I've got the name right. That's awesome. Yeah, so the longer you pay, obviously there's an advantage to taxes. And there's a lot of people in the Hexagon community right now that are doing a deep dive into taxes and corporate structures and laws and loans, things like that. So we're getting a lot of good information right now, not only about crypto, but we're getting a lot of information right now about finances and how to structure yourself and take advantage of different tax strategies. So, that's the beauty and that's the power of the community, is you have this group of people, and that brings me to my goal. So my goal since I was 16 years old was to be financially free. That goal drove me and really motivated me, and it's really all I thought about from the moment I woke up to the moment I went to sleep. Was I thought, how can I become financially free? And thanks to this amazing invention and product called Hex from Richard Hart, I was able to achieve that this last year. And I had to come up with a new goal, a new life goal, something to give my life purpose and meaning. and to fill up my time. And what I came up with was a goal of helping directly or indirectly 1 million families achieve that same goal of financial freedom. So my goal is to help as many families as I can on board and give help and advice and assistance to as many families as possible to achieve financial freedom, and then let the butterfly effect, the ripple effect, or the pay it forward effect do its work and go forward. So uh, this is a really selfish goal because I want this community to grow as large as possible. I was listening to Marco the Hexagon, who is an awesome, awesome guy. Shout out to Marco. I met him in Vegas, and I remember him tweeting out, "If I meet Hexagons in real life, I'm gonna buy you all drinks. Like drinks are on me." And I thought, "Oh, that's cool. That's really nice. I appreciate that." Um, I'm looking for, that's a great sentiment. What a nice guy. But there we were in Vegas at the Bellagio, and the dude buys everyone around. All the Hexagons hanging out there in the Bellagio. He buys us around, and I thought, this is amazing to have people that keep their word, that don't just, they don't just say something to say it. They mean it, and they've got integrity. And I thought that was so impressive and so cool that that he would stick by his word when no one there's going to call him out for a tweet he made months ago. Um, and so yeah, he bought everyone drinks, and I remember putting on Twitter, Marco's a man of his word. But I was listening to him on the conference, and he was talking about what would you say if you met Richard Hart? And I'm not ashamed to say that I've said it on several streams. I would definitely, I would have tears of gratitude in my eyes, being next to Richard Hart. Like, I don't know if I can find the words, but the expression of gratitude would be so strong. And he talks about how Richard Hart is this guy, like that professor, a mentor that gives you, that will tell you the truth, even if it's unpleasant, or even if it's unpopular. And every time you go away from a Richard Hart live stream or interaction, you come away a little bit better. You come away with more knowledge and, more confidence, more motivation, and tools. He's given us so many amazing tools as a Hexagon community. And I want a million more Marcos in the Hexagon community. I want a million more Firebuns and Stephs. I want a million more Hexos. I want a million more crypto heartbeats out there, making the world a better place, building the community, finding their passion. That's what I want. And if you can help a million families become financially free, then you have a chance of a million more people that have the opportunity to find their purpose in life and pursue it, and it makes the world a better place. And I mean, shout out to Crypto Heartbeat and the other Hexagons that I've heard uh, conveying the same sentiment and saying the same thing that I'm saying right now is, once you take care of money in people's lives, you get an opportunity to see what they want to, what they were put on this earth to do. What their passion is, what their talents are. Because a lot of people stuck at jobs or running, even the self-employed people, they may not be doing something that they're extremely passionate about, right? They may be doing something that is to pay the bills. They do it out of necessity instead of out of passion and love. And once you give them an opportunity to do something out of passion and love, it's amazing what what people can do. And so that's why I'm here. That's my place in the Hexagon community. Is my place is to try and spoon feed and break down and make things accessible and learnable to the new person that's coming into the community, and trying to help them walk through that learning curve of setting up a wallet, staking Hex, and watching it grow, because it's something that a lot of us Hexicans, a lot of us OG Hexicans that were around, in Bitcoin and in crypto for a while, we take this stuff for granted because we've geeked out on exchanges. I mean, a lot of us were trying to figure out how to use a VPN back in the day before Binance would allow Americans, before it set up, the US Binance. A lot of us were, some of us went way back to wiring money to Mount Gox, and so we kind of like figured our way through these hurdles and learned what a lot of this lingo and jargon mean. And it's been so long since we went through that learning curve, it's hard to put ourselves in that mindset. And so someone like off the street that's trying to figure out what blockchain means, what a wallet is, what a stake is, um, these are these these people need our help, and there's so many awesome people in the community helping them that I'm proud to be a part of. Crypto Coffee, shout out to him. He makes amazing resources and videos for new people. So Lewis says, "Hey Hexray, I'm here with the newbies to crypto watching your stream. Can you explain the Liquify work on Pulse X? Explain it to a child like they don't know anything about crypto." So explain the Liquify work on Pulse X. I'm not sure what the Liquify is referring to. You might be talking about like liquid loans or the burning token of it. Add another comment and I'll go back to that. So excited. Shout out to So Excited. I'm really happy to see you here in the chat. Really, really good, awesome family friend of mine. Cool people. So excited. Good to see you here. Susie Q, thank you. Thank you for the compliment. Uh, Eric Karras says liquid loans allows you to mint USDL pegged to the USD in an algorithm. The pulse as collateral, not PulseX. Your pulse will be locked inside your wallet until you redeem the loan. Okay, so Eric Cares is obviously responding to Lewis Hex's question about liquid loans. And yeah, so basically the way that liquid loans, let me clear my throat. Excuse me. The way the liquid loans is set to work, I mean, it doesn't work yet. It's not active yet. But the way that it is set to work is you would take your crypto and use it as a collateral, kind of like a home equity loan where people will use the equity or the value in their house to, back up or collateralize a loan. And so with liquid loans, they like to set it up to where hexagons and pulsicans can lock their or store their pulse in a vault, or basically you're using it as collateral for a loan, and that loan would be paid out in another coin called the stable coin USDL. So that stable coin would be pegged to the US dollar. That's the way it's supposed to work. And then when you pay back your loan, it would, from what I understand, the loans, you would pay a fee when you start the loan, but there'd be no interest. So I'm not sure how the time frame works on that, like the time period of how long you have to pay back your loan, or if you just have to leave your collateral there as long as you want. But if that were the case, then you would pay back the loan of whatever US dollar amount that you borrowed. and the fee, and then they would release the pulse back to you into your wallet. And so, again, a wallet is just an app on your phone or the computer. Most of the Hexagons right now are using the Metamask wallet on the Chrome browser, just because it's the most widely used, and it seems to be the one that has the most people working on its software and fixing its bugs and stuff. TCF62 says, love your new goal. This opportunity is bigger than most people realize, not only financially, but through personal development and benevolence to others. It's a gift to humanity. And honestly, it really is. You know, Richard Hart talked about helping people and improving mankind before. I think he put some of the self-help videos out before Bitcoin, but maybe it was after Bitcoin. You know, he'd already achieved financial freedom before Bitcoin, and then, you know, the amount of money that he most likely has available to him now is more than, you know, there's a point you get to financially where you can't just throw money at a problem. You know, money is a tool, but in order to solve people's problems, it takes people, not just money. Money is helpful, but there comes a point where you could throw all of the money at a problem and it doesn't get fixed without people. So you got to go back, and that's really the product that Richard Hart produces. Is he produces a community of people to work on problems, and I think that's where you got to go. That's what these problems are going to take, is people. And the money helps, but it takes people. And Richard Hart has said the thing that he's the proudest of is the community. So that's great. And thank you, Sandra Larson, for the nice comment. Appreciate that very much. Yikes, 1 million heartbeats will be a bit much, man. One is perfect. Once we're sick of all the nice talk, we can just pause him and go to Rags and Riches to declutter. Yeah, Rags likes to bring it down. He keeps us grounded. He keeps us humble. He's funny. I do appreciate his sense of humor and his memes. If you're not following Rags to Riches on YouTube, and you're or subscribe to him on YouTube and following him on Twitter, he drops a lot of gold memes, make me laugh more than once a day. So follow Rags to Riches, follow Crypto Heartbeat, follow Balliot Brand, follow that kid. Good to see you in the stream, in the chat there, Balliot. In fact, I want to send Balliot a link, just in case he has an opportunity to join us. You know, he's always got some amazing insight. Subscribe to Balliot Brand on YouTube. Follow him on Twitter. Balliot Brand's been doing an awesome job at the conference as well. Really, really great to see him there. Eric Kerr says, no time frame, no interest, just a one-off fee. I think he means a one-time fee. So if that's true, then that would be a huge advantage if you could take advantage of the market, you know, when it dips and when it swings, and you could go take a loan and buy a bunch of, let's say that Hex is in a dip, and you take a bunch of Pulse, you move it over as collateral, and then you take a US dollar loan out, you go buy the dip with the US dollar loan, and then it goes back up, you know, you can sell a portion of that dip, repay the loan, and you basically have free Hex, which is awesome. It says, Eric Kerr says, I hope to see a Hex pump right before midnight. UTC is sacrificed before the 5% reduction kicks in. Yeah, it'll be really interesting. I thought that during the pull sacrifice, the OA had come in and sacrificed a ton right at the last minute of the first 5 days of Pulse were the 10,000 to 1 ratio that you got. But no, and then what the OA did is waited till all the bonuses were given to come in. And that was really generous of the OA, because the OA could have gone on the first day and blew everyone out of the water, right? But the OA didn't. The OA waited till the very last second, till everyone had gotten their bonus, everyone had gotten their position and done the best that they could have. And then the OA came in and dropped, I think it was like 13 bill into the Pulse sacrifice. And so a lot of people, someone pointed this out to me yesterday, that the last 3 days of the Pulse X sacrifice, after the rate's been cranked all the way up, aren't the people the last 3 days aren't they don't qualify for the bonus, so they're not eligible for the bonus. So a lot of people think that the last 3 days of the Pulse X sacrifice is when the OA may come in and get its lion's share, sacrifice its massive amount that we're all expecting it to do. That's and so we'll see what happens there. I believe it's the end of February, so it's February 25th through the 27th or something like that. So there's 47 days after midnight today. There's 47 days, I believe, where the rate goes up 5% a day. So if the rate goes up 5% a day, it looks like it tops up around $10 for 10,000 points, where today, right now, before 5 p.m., you get 10,000 points for a penny plus your bonus. Ballot Brand says he can't do it this time. Set it for my stream in 53 minutes. I promise we'll stream again soon. You're doing such a great job. Thanks you. That means a lot. I really appreciate that, Ballot Brand. That's awesome. I'm going to take a quick break and jump off camera for 1 second, and go ahead, get your friends and family and tell them to jump on stream and add questions in the chat. I know this is my tech talk, and I am not going as deep into the tech as we usually do when we have our safety, our life jacket. When things get too deep in the tech talk, David Feeder is our life jacket. He keeps us from drowning when I'm struggling to grasp some of the concepts that are going on. And so let me grab a drink, and then I'll come back and we'll see if we've got a guest to join us. If not, I've got a short article I wrote that I might read here online. And Runesi's got some questions he's going to be adding to the chat. So give me just 1 second. I'm going to grab a drink of water, and I'll be right back. All right. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm glad you didn't all leave. I appreciate that. Bit Finesse. So many killer streams on Sunday afternoon. Damn, we all need more tech talk. Also, duct tape is now officially garbage. Duct tape is now official. I don't get the reference of the duct tape. I'm sure it's really funny. Bitfinesse is the man. I'm going to send him a link just in case he's got a chance to chat. Like always, it's really awesome. Oh, sorry, I've been sending people the link to the video instead of the invite link. Sorry, I clicked off of there. But I was bragging about owning a garage when I left. Dan says, "Who else in this chat is new to Hex like I am?" Let's talk about that. Yeah, Hex. Every time I get on Twitter, there's 20 or 30 new Hexicans that are completely brand new, which is awesome. You know, to see the the new people. Um, and the community is growing so fast. There's such a need for information for newer people. You know, the entry level stuff, the milk before the meat, as some people say, right? So yeah, if you're new in chat, let me know. We'll give you a shout out. Um, every oh, let me talk about a couple other things. Not every single Monday, but most Mondays, I put on a live Zoom meeting, and you can see the replays of the live Zoom meetings on my YouTube channel. But basically, these are for brand new people where I try to break down not only crypto, but Hex to the most basic level and give introductory to it. And on my YouTube channel, there's a form you can fill out, and you can join us live for these Zoom meetings, and you can ask any question you want. The last one got cut a little short because I shared the link on Twitter, which was a mistake. And we got some crazy people going in there, and they kind of trolled and wrecked that last Zoom meeting. I had to do a little bit of editing, but it is up there. And in fact, the last one, if you go to the last one, I do a tutorial on setting up. I do a screen share where I set up a MetaMask wallet from scratch, and then I do a Pulse X sacrifice. Or I don't have any money in the wallet, obviously, because I share the seed words and everything, just like you're sitting down with me. But you can watch that, and it will show you step by step where you click, how you set up a wallet, and how you sacrifice. It doesn't go step by step setting up a Coinbase account, unfortunately, because that's something that you can't really screen share without a lot of editing and blurring, because you're going to be adding, bank details and things like that. But it's a decent one there. People using hardware wallets to sign transactions on Ethereum using MetaMask. Why would they have any issues on Pulse Chain? My answer to that would be no, because if you have your hardware wallet, you hold your private keys. And so if you have your private keys and if you're sacrificing or using Pulse Chain, I'm guessing you're asking about the airdrop of the new coins. They should show up in whatever wallet you sacrifice from, if you've got the private keys. So a lot of people, like you said, you're hooking your hardware wallet up to a MetaMask, then yeah, you're gonna have your private keys. So you shouldn't have any problems there. Casey W, my brother Casey, shout out to Casey, says I'm late. What did I miss? Uh, we've been talking about the conference and just giving shout outs and talking about how awesome the community is. Emergency says, should they plan to change their hardware wallet going forward? Will the same wallets of Treasure or Ledger work fine? I believe they will because the Pulse network is going to be a fork of the Ethereum network. So, um, just like when you go to Metamask and you change the network setting, uh, there might be something you have to do with a hardware wallet to see the other chain or to see the other network and the other coins. But considering it's coming from the same Ethereum family and the Ethereum network, then I would assume that they should work just fine with Pulse. But I don't know for sure. We'd probably want to talk to someone a little more tech savvy than me that could explain to you what the wallet can read and what the hardware wallets can read and understand, what the hardware wallets cannot read or understand. Bit finesse, not going to be able to hop on, unfortunately. That's fine. Those who are new to Hex are in it for a ride of their lives. Very exciting. I'm excited for all the new people. Welcome. And I am, yeah, I'm with you there, bit finesse. Anyone that's new, see, a lot of people, a lot of people like friends and family that know me, they think that they missed the boat. They know that I jumped in Hex a couple of years ago, and they're like, "Oh well, you've done great, good for you, but the ride's over." And I even heard someone say that on the Hex conference, and it really bothered me. They're like, "Oh, I don't think that Hex is going to do another 10x." It's like, why wouldn't it? It's brand new, it's pre-viral, no one knows about it, and it works, and it's paying insane interest. Why wouldn't everyone on earth that understands Hex and T-shares want some? It just blows my mind. And so, yeah, the new people, excuse me, the new people are in for the ride of their lives. If you're joining now, you're. I think that people joining today actually have two huge advantages over the day one OGs. And let me explain what I mean by that. When 2 years ago, we had a smaller community of people, but we didn't have half of the tools. We didn't have half of the websites. We didn't have all of the people streaming on YouTube 24 hours a day. And a lot of this stuff we were still learning. We were still getting our heads wrapped around the T-shares. We were still, doing that. Where today, if someone shows up today, they got this huge community of super helpful human beings. They've got 24-hour live streams where they can sit and soak up and start to understand some of these concepts that people are sharing. And they've got a time machine in the form of Pulse and PulseX. I mean, whether you got into the sacrifice phase of Pulse, or even if you don't get into the sacrifice phase of PulseX going on right now, you still have the opportunity to buy and to DCA into Pulse and PulseX on day one, day two, day three, the first year. You guys have this amazing opportunity to buy this new coin, most likely at the bottom of its market, and DCA into it and have this huge helpful community to walk you through it. So there's huge advantages right now for day one people, and that we didn't have, like I said, when we started out. So that's awesome. Oh, Marco the Hexagon. Much love, bro. You're you're the man. I cannot wait to meet up with you in Vegas this year, and clink glasses and I give you a hug. You're awesome, man. I really really appreciate the what you put into words on that conference, because you spoke for a lot of us. So cheers to you. Susie Q says, I always feel like a newborn when I'm learning every day. That's true. It's stretching your brain. A lot of us, I'm in my 40s, and what do they call that? The brain elasticity, like where you can pick up new concepts, or how like kids can learn a new language much easier than an adult because their brain is still in that phase of picking up new stuff and learning faster. And as an adult, you try to wrap your head around a new concept, it does make you feel like a newborn. Rusi says, yeah, basically, just to clear it up, which chain does my hardware wallet support? People ask these questions a lot. All EVM chains, which is an electronic virtual machine chain, if using Metamask are supported, yes, I'm playing dumb right now. So and that's the question is what language and what software does your hardware wallet understand? And without knowing the answer for real, don't take this as gospel, but I would assume that if it runs with Ethereum, it's going to run with Pulse because the code is very, very similar. I mean, it's copied in a lot of places and then fixed where Ethereum falls short, but where Ethereum works, they most likely just copied that code over. Shout out to Finbear. Hey Finbear, how are you doing? And thanks for popping in earlier at Bitfinesse. Thank you very much. Yes. Yeah. Just hit the target, says Marco the Hexagon. Finbear, I listen longer than you'd think. I haven't learned the language like Mango Junkie apparently, but your language is very enjoyable to listen to. Yeah. Finbear has a very cool accent. When you're listening to him, you're waiting. It almost feels like he's going to start talking about an old Norris legend or something like that because he's got that cool accent. Sandy B says, "What up, Hex?" And then Marco says he looked forward to seeing me, and I'm sure he looks forward to seeing the other Hexkins in Vegas in March. T Money from Freedom TV. Shout out to T Money from Freedom TV. We're going to be doing a stream of the countdown tonight, going into the UTC. So the end of the bonus phase. I'm going to be joining Tony on Freedom TV, or he'll be joining me on this channel, and we'll be doing a countdown stream. So RuneSky says EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine. Yes, as you said, it works with Ethereum. It should work with Pulse Chain. So that's good. Let's see here. Finbear had his number 4 live stream and finished just recently. Congratulations and good job, Finbear. We need all the streamers we can get. Obviously, we have more streamers than we can keep up with on a 24-hour basis, but every person is going to reach someone different. Like me, if you're a middle-aged bald dude, then I'm probably going to relate to you because I'm a middle-aged bald dude. If you're like a martial arts expert, that's a teenager and you're into Hex, then you're going to reach an entirely different audience than I am. And you're going to be doing something awesome in your in your part of the world and in your peer group. So everyone that is willing to stream, I say stream, jump on, share your message, share whatever information you have, and that would be great. I'm also, let me see, I'm going to shoot out invitation to Casey and see if he's in a place where he can join me. I'm not used to being up here alone and filling all this. I mean, I am on my Zoom calls, but usually when I stream, there's a lot of people. But this is a crazy Sunday with the conferences going on, with PulseX going on. There's just, man, it is so much craziness just flying around us right now. And so, shout out to all the people having Hex hangovers on this Sunday, sleeping in, laying in bed, getting ready for the next dose of the crypto conference. I'm looking forward to the announcement of where the conference is going to be held in Vegas so that I can get my room booked. A bit of advice to all the Hexkins heading to Las Vegas. You got a lot of stuff going on right now on that weekend in Vegas. So that weekend in Vegas is going to be the car show. It's going to be the NBA All-Star game. And I believe it's also going to have a Bitcoin conference going on in that weekend. So book your rooms early or your Airbnbs or whatever as soon as you can, because if you wait till the last minute, you're probably going to be paying like hundreds of dollars for a crappy room at Circus, or something to that effect. So get your stuff booked now. Thanks, Runeskis. I have so many, but just lurk and listen. Yeah, there's a lot of people that keep watching this. Shout out. Marco says that Richard might be going live. Let me check Twitter, because that's where it would be right there. Should I do a live stream? Well, of course you should. Oh my gosh, dude, 13 million hex just sacrificed. 2 million, almost 3 million hex just sacrificed. We've been getting a bunch of penalties today too. Over 1 million hex in penalty off of this last emergency end stake 27 minutes ago. In fact, let me pull up let me pull up the app hex win. app.hex.win. It used to be graphex with a hex in it instead of I. So it's like GRAP. Yeah, apphex.win. Pull this up here and see what our daily payout's going to be today, or what it's projected to be. I don't want to connect it with MetaMask right now. Here we go. Charts. So right now, according to apphex.win or graphhex.rocks, our estimated payout today is sitting at 6.27 hex per T-share, that's awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So it says feel free to anywhere, whenever you want. Not sure what he's referring to. So, I'm the guy that created the advanced liquid loans haunted strategy spreadsheet. James Harble says, and this is there's a whole bunch of strategies on liquid loans where people are looking at ways that you can take advantage of the swings in price, and you can also take advantage of borrowing and over collateralizing your loan. Some really interesting stuff there if you go into their Telegram for sure. It says Excalibur Hotel Maddie. Oh, Maddie announced it last night. Excalibur. Now Excalibur, last time I was down there, had free parking. So Excalibur is an excellent place to hang out and get your free parking on. So Excalibur, according to Ush Player 2. RuneSky says, I got my hair, by the way. I'm not here because I'm bald, just putting it out there. Yeah. If you're bald and you're in the chat, shout out to the bald guys. 6 p.m. 6 million for the day. It's insane. What part of the strip should we be on or by? I want to be close. So that's the end of the strip. That's down there by the Luxor and Circus and Excalibur, of course. And there used to be the Hooters Hotel, but now it's called YOLO or Oyo, like OYO. I stayed at the OYO going in and out of Vegas this last year, and it is it's a trip. It's I wouldn't recommend the OYO unless you're on a budget. We just saw it was a cheap hotel room, relatively cheap, and the OYO it's interesting. It's down there right by those groups of casinos, but Finbear says he's bald on the inside. That's funny. I'm checking back to Twitter. Anyone in chat, let me know if Hex goes or if Richard goes live, and I'll jump on there. That would be great. That'd be great. In the meantime, I still don't have one guest, unfortunately. Ush Player is recommending Mandalay Bay, so that's awesome. Mandalay Bay is a nice hotel. So I'm gonna go through all this talk about Vegas brings me to this kind of like article or a short little thing I wrote comparing crypto to Las Vegas. I had this dream the other night where I could see, and it's much cooler as visually than what you're going to get audio here or written down. But I saw this vision of if Hex were a game at a casino, what it would look like. You know, people locking up their chips and then like this timer going on where it would dump the chips plus interest. And I thought if there was an actual game like Hex staking in Vegas, it would, mm, I believe, big money would put in there. I mean, obviously, you'd have the counterparty risk of the casino and human beings, but like, this is all hypothetical, right? So let me read this real quick here. It's called If Crypto Were Las Vegas. So it says, imagine making an electronic version of the excitement and economic force that is Las Vegas. If you remove the physical limitations, reduced regulation, and sprinkled in a bit of privacy, you would have something that closely resembles crypto. The competing tokens and blockchains would be like casinos on the strip, and the traders and investors are crowds that come from all over the world to risk their hard-earned money. Um, and let me send Finbear an invite here. He says he'll jump on with me. You guys will get to enjoy his awesome accent. Let me find him here on Twitter and shoot him a DM. There's actually several Finbears here on there's several Finbears on Twitter, so I make sure I get the right Finbear. Shoot your Twitter handle in the text there, and I'll keep going on here. So Bitcoin. In the case of Bitcoin, it would be the first casino outside the grasp of the original gangsters, i.e., Wall Street and the government. It managed to survive since it was owned anonymously and difficult to get into. In order to gamble at the Bitcoin casino, you had to know a guy. In the beginning, you could work for the casino and get chips. You would max out your graphics card on your computer to help secure Bitcoin books. You could also wire money to their cashier cage in Japan called Mt. Gox. The cashier cage got conveniently robbed while holding a lot of chips and deposits. When people came to the Bitcoin casino, they were first betting that the chips would be accepted everywhere people spent money. The idea that there would be a money that could be spent freely without the New York crime family smacking you around is still just an idea. The other people bet on Bitcoin. The other people that were betting on Bitcoin believed that there would only be 21 million chips ever created. This is still an ongoing bet, even though the ledger was compromised early on and chips were created at will. The ledger had to be rolled back and resumed. As time goes on, new gamblers bet on this angle, unaware of the counterfeit or the fact that another chip minting machine was recently found. This bet is still marketed, even though many casinos have copied or forked the exact system and proven the idea of scarcity false. Remember, remember how in the beginning you could work for the casino by running your computer to provide security? Well, as the chips went up in value, it became big business to provide security. Extortion crews from around the world competed to get the best computer parts and the cheapest electricity. Pretty soon, the extortion crews were giving orders and making demands. This will continue to give the Bitcoin casino trouble in the future. About every 4 years, the Bitcoin casino cuts the rewards of new chips in half. And for a few short months, the gamblers pour into Vegas, bringing the town to life with their partying and jubilation. The bull market. When the hype dies down and the gamblers, now financially wrecked, return home to lick their wounds for another 3 years. The bear market. Ethereum. The next casino to show up in town was Ethereum. It wanted to set up tables inside the Bitcoin casino, but the Bitcoin casino simply couldn't host all the games Ethereum wanted to do. So, with sheer nerd power and a few $1 million in VC capital, they started their own casino. VCs got shares in this new Ethereum casino for just pennies. At the Ethereum casino, you could bet on the value of the Ethereum chips or one of the many games in their network. The Ethereum casino opened their floor to anyone who wanted to run tables or games inside their casino. These games inside the casino were called smart contracts. They claimed that whether the game worked or not, there were no takebacks. They said code is law. Then one day, people lost about $60 million. And the only responsible thing to do was to do a takeback or a rollback. There was a rift in the casino between those who believed in the take-back ethos and those who had a change of heart. This split the casino into two separate casinos, Ethereum Classic and Ethereum. Big money went with the Ethereum. The big money went with Ethereum, of course, because it rolled back the ledger for them, and Ethereum went on to become the second biggest casino on the strip. As the Ethereum casino got busier and busier, it promised to increase its network efficiency to keep up with demand, and bets increased. Ethereum started to take the market share from old man Bitcoin. Its chips price continued to get dragged up and down with the price of the Bitcoin chips as gamblers went primarily back and forth between the two casinos. Because of all the crazy price swings between casino chips and the US dollar, another player came into the scene: stablecoins. So casinos offered gamblers a stable chip, or a chip worth about $1 US. You could pay a fee at the exchange, and voila, you had a chip that showed you how much of your rent money was gone. The stable chips only went up and down a few pennies in value, which was nice, but there was a problem. The problem was that when you asked the casinos to prove their chips were fully backed, they got a little squirrely. They produced letters from lawyers and vague explanations, like Tether. Eventually, one of the casinos, Coinbase, gained trust by getting in bed with the biggest and most powerful gang of them all, the US government. Gamblers didn't have total freedom and ownership of these stable chips. The chips could be frozen or deactivated even if you held them in your own pocket of the gamblers, but it was better than nothing. Over time, more than 13,000 casinos and games sprung up on the strip as degenerate gamblers looked for more ways to satisfy their craving for action. In December of 2019, the game changed. Hex. On December 2nd, a new game showed up on the Ethereum casino floor. It was called Hex, and the creator, Richard Hart, was a Bitcoin OG. The game stood out for several reasons. First of all, most of the games and casinos on the strip were still under construction. Hex was finished. Gamblers were used to betting on future promises and didn't know what to make of something that existed in the present. Something else that made Hex special was the fact that it never went down. Other casinos and games on the strip failed regularly or were taken offline to be fixed. If this weren't enough, Hex, If this weren't enough, Hex had a fixed set of rules. Most games allowed the pit boss or casino to change the odds or parameters of their game while people's bets were still on the table. Once you placed your bet in Hex, the only thing that affected the outcome were your actions, your fellow players competing with you, and the Ethereum casino fees when you cashed out. When Hex was first released, the chips cost less than a penny. In fact, the first year, the chips were as low as thousandths of a penny. Richard Hart chose the Ethereum casino because because at the time it was the best casino available to host his game. Sure, it got busy sometimes, but it functioned and the fees were usually less than $1. How to play Hex. The Hex game creates 3.69% more chips a year on average. The game gives these new chips to the people that lock up their chips in a smart contract with the timer. Those who lock up more chips get a bigger payout, and those who set the timer for longer get a bigger payout. What are people betting on? People are betting that if they lock up their chips for a certain amount of time, they can come back in the future and get their original amount of chips plus interest. People are also betting that the Ethereum casino will continue to run and facilitate the Hex game reliably and affordably. The secret of T-shares. The people that are really into the Hex game discovered the secret sauce that makes the game so profitable, a mechanism called the T-share. The Hex game is programmed to create fewer T-shares over time as people cash out their locked chips. This mimics compound interest and ensures gamblers who make the biggest commitments will always get more chips than those with smaller and shorter bets. The T-share also rewards action over procrastination. Transparency. The Hex game is also totally visible to the public. Everyone walking down the strip can see how many Hex chips are locked up and for how long the timers are set for. By reading this, the other gamblers know how much supply is off the market and when it would potentially hit the market supply. When somebody breaks their smart contract, it's also public knowledge. But this is when this is done, the gambler pays a substantial penalty, which is added to the smart contracts of the gamblers who honored their time locks. The penalty bonus is available when the completed time locks are unlocked. This too is open and viewable to the public. Hexagons. The game worked. As word of the game spread and more people came to play the game, the chip price rose to as high as 50 cents. People loved the game so much that they started making YouTube videos about it, showing how well it worked. They started a community and called themselves the Hexagons. They hung out together online and in person. They partied together and shared information. They celebrated their newfound wealth and financial freedom. They built new tools and websites to help promote the Hex game and help others learn the game and maximize their returns. It seemed as though nothing could stop the success of this game, but in the second year of its existence, the fees from the Ethereum casino became so high that it wiped out the smaller bets and time lock profits. The fees were so high they kept many new people from even entering the Ethereum casino, let alone converting their chips to Hex chips so they could play this awesome game of getting paid to wait. The creator of Hex, Richard Hart, realized Hex needed a new casino where the fees of getting into the casino and playing the game were cheap again. This brings us to Pulse and Pulse X. Richard Hart presented his plan for the new casino called Pulse Chain, where the fees would be cheap and the transactions fast. The new Pulse Chain casino will also have a copy of all the chips and smart contracts that currently exist in the Ethereum casino. He allowed all the Hexagons to sacrifice to the cause and make a political statement in favor of free speech. Billions of dollars were sacrificed, with millions going to medical research along the way. As Richard and his developers worked on this new casino, which is going to be called Pulse Chain, he said that he saw the need for a better chip exchange or cashier cage. Richard set up an opportunity for Hexagons and fellow gamblers to sacrifice their chips and make a political statement in support of the right to travel and the right to assemble. He and his developers set to creating the biggest, most liquid exchange of casino chips and named the project Pulse X. So far, hundreds of millions of dollars have been sacrificed for Pulse X. The Hexagon community waits, some patiently, some not so patiently, for the arrival of this new casino and exchange. The Pulse Chain Casino will be the largest promotion the Strip has ever seen. It is indeed a great time to be in Vegas, especially if you're a Hexagon. So that's like a little story slash narration or analogy of how you could compare some of the cryptocurrencies and blockchains to crypto, and maybe some people get a little bit better. I don't know if some of the people are not a fan of the idea of gambling, but honestly, um, let's see here. Oh, I've got fin bears. Let me copy that right there. Send on my. I got two keyboards out, and I keep forgetting which is which. There we go. Apparently, I've got to follow Finbear. I thought I was following him. I must be following some other Finbears on Twitter, but I'm following him. I gotta wait for him to follow me back before I can DM. But here we go. So Finbear doesn't have an access the rest of us do. That's funny. He's all right. Here we go. So I'm actually going to put the link here in the chat while we're waiting. Let me double check, make sure that Richard hasn't gone live yet. No, he's still just asking if he should do a live stream. So we're good. Renov, shout out to Renov. K said he loves educational adult chill time story, saving and replaying again. That's very nice of you. Shout out to Randy. Randy, how are you doing? Hopefully we'll see you in Vegas this year. It was great to meet you there. An awesome Hexagon. Follow Randy on Twitter. Sandy B says he cries every time he hears the story. It's so good. That's funny. Great work. Loves the format. We should have Renob crying his paint with a leaf blower to the story. LOL. It's funny. All right. Just took a look at Robinhood gamification for fractional stocks, not game theory for good. RH does that. That's right. Yeah. Awesome game theory. If you look at Hex as a casino game, there's no other game. There's no other game you would play in a casino. If you could literally lock up your money or your chips at a casino and come back later and just get more chips. I mean, granted, it's not the hit of dopamine that a lot of degenerate gamblers are looking for, but you would always make money going to Vegas playing that game. Oh, shout out to Davin, aka Eco Builder in the chat. How are you doing? So excited. Says we have been helping our family all day make their sacrifice. It's a lot of work to do this. I'm not sure how you do it. Hats off to you and all you do. Thank you very much. So excited is one of the very first people I met that that took me at my word. And I mean, to be honest, they were total strangers. I was just driving around in my truck at work, and I was I'm trying to onboard everybody from it into Hex at that time because I saw what an awesome opportunity was, and they were nice enough. They didn't even know me, invited me to their house, and they were one of the biggest onboards I made at first, besides family and friends, people that I basically forced into Hex. And they, luckily, hopefully it was the code that convinced them, and the idea that, hey, this is worth taking a look at. And they've done an amazing job, bringing family and friends into Hex. And I couldn't ask for a better compliment than for people that I teach to teach others. That's the greatest compliment I could ever receive. Finbear, how are you doing?
How you doing, man? Good to see
It's
you.
great. It's great to see you. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're a little bit quiet. You can turn up the gain on your mic if you want, or
Oh,
maybe I'm just yelling.
no,
I'm
no.
deaf. I can turn my
I've
volume
been.
up.
I've actually. You're not the first one to. You're not the first one to react today. So let me see if I can.
Yeah, I mean, I can hear it with my headphones. I just let us know
Yeah.
in the chat how the audio is, if someone needs to go up or down in
How's it
volume.
going? I
It's
cranked myself all the way up there.
awesome,
So
awesome.
how's it going? This should be pretty sort of ASMR or whatever it's called.
Yeah, get in really close on the
Oh yeah, that's nasty.
something to tap your fingernails against.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love it.
That's
Oh,
just
see, I should
annoying.
have just put the link in here at the very beginning, and I
Yeah,
wouldn't be like talking to myself in
feeling
the
lonely.
studio.
Yeah,
We got Eco Builder, we got my good friend Casey, and Randy says that definitely one of the best. I really hope to see you guys in Vegas. That would be great. And then and Davin says he's got more stickers in the mail. So yeah, I have I live in a funky little town where they don't deliver mail to our house.
what?
We have to go pick it up at a PO box. So if you don't send it to the PO box, we just don't get important documents all the time. So
Wow.
it's awesome.
So yeah, I
That's
sent you some
that's
magnets and some moon stickers.
Those moon stickers
man.
will definitely be going on my Hex Flex ride, my Ford Escape.
I sent some
Yeah.
over to a rogue herbalist. I think that his whole family would
Isn't
put
it
it on the card.
isn't it still isn't it just called Ford Escape?
No, it's fancier. Once you put Hex
Escape.
stickers on a vehicle, it automatically becomes very, very fancy. So it's
Yeah.
the Ford
Hey,
Escape.
what do I have to do to get my hands on those? Those
Dude, if you
looked pretty
DM me
sweet.
an address, I've sent some to. I think the furthest I sent Hex and Pulse Chain stickers was Belgium.
We're
So
gonna
if you
break that
DM,
record, man.
yeah,
Oh
DM
yeah,
me and I will send them. They got
definitely.
there in like a week. I was shocked that
Yeah,
the
no
stickers would get there so
quarantine or
soon.
anything. Yeah,
Awesome.
Yeah,
Hexagon
straight
says
through
it
the mail.
sounds good. Thanks for the feedback, Hexagon. And
cool.
I feel like we're about to come out of the eye of the hurricane.
Mm.
Like as soon as the ETH fees went up, it basically put like a hobble on our legs.
Mm,
We couldn't onboard people for $20, $50 like we used to. Now we were looking for people with at least $1,000, and then they had to lose a few $100s in fees just to set up a decent staking ladder. And you
yeah,
can see right on the chart where it just hit that wall with those fees. And that's when, thank God Richard Hart went to work and said, all right, let's start our own casino. Let's start our own
I
network,
think
because a lot of us didn't see Ethereum as a counterparty risk in the beginning. I didn't, because it was
I,
cheap.
I I think he had his feelers out already when they were launching.
Right.
Because, like, if I understood correctly, he had plans to make longer stakes possible, but they had to shorten the time because of the first changes that they realized that the 1559 update is gonna have. So if I understood correctly, they had at least 30-year stakes like
Ooh.
planned originally. Even might have been 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine imagine having year one stakes for 50 years. Oh my god, I would be freaking out with the seed phrases already by now.
Yeah, and those 60-cent T-shares would be like, whoa, for 50 years.
Yeah, yeah. Great
That's insane.
granddad was really clever. Shut up and
Yeah.
eat your diamonds, boy.
Yeah, you better get a statue of you made if you are sacrificing hex to people 50 years in the future. It better be like a gold
Yeah,
statue or marble statue that they all
yeah,
have to go and kiss the feet of every day in order to
yeah.
get their money.
Shut up and eat your diamonds.
Shut up and eat your diamond cereal.
Yeah.
That's funny. That's really funny. Yeah, so like I said, we
I
sacrificed
like the
back in.
story. It was really. I
did?
almost fell asleep when I was waiting. Like I was sitting here really comfortably, and I was listening to you reading it, and you were sort of, you were putting yourself in there, man. I heard you like.
I was
You
trying.
were you were proper doing it.
I was trying. I would love to do a video, like a visualization of what I saw in my dream, because I literally saw
Did you write it?
every. Yeah, I had a
That was
dream.
really. I thought somebody else wrote it and you read it out, but that was like yeah, kudos, man. That's well done.
Oh, thank you very much. Like I said, I had this dream that consumed me, where I saw Bitcoin as a casino game, where people
Yeah.
were literally bringing their like graphics cards to the casino and plugging in and fighting for the rewards, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
the town of Vegas just getting this insane party every bull cycle for a few months, and then the whole town dies for 3 years during the bear market, and then the casino, the Ethereum casino, letting everyone build on top of their network, just being like a
Yeah.
whole bunch of shysters and people in there running their games and their scams on top of inside this Ethereum casino and so forth. But the visualization of the hex really clicked in my mind. I would love
Yeah,
to do a
I was just
visualization of
yeah, I was
hex as
just
as a casino game.
yeah, I was just walking our dog and I was listening to you, and I'm kind of a sort of a visual person myself, where like try to visualize the things that sort of interest me, and the story was very sort of compelling, and it brought like this imagery into my mind. It was really sort of, yeah, it was fun to listen to. I liked it a lot.
Was
Thank
any of
you
this
very much.
spawned by the what was it, Hex.Gallery, where you can go into the little 3D land and look on the wall? You know what I'm talking about. Maddie during the conference put out some information about this. One of the guys in the Hex built it. So on the wall of this 3D world, you can go and give yourself an avatar that you can select your skin color, your hair type, I guess male or female. I'm not
You know what
sure.
I choose.
And then stuff on the wall, blue hair. Then stuff on the wall become links within the Hex community. So it's an onboarding room.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now. I've seen screenshots of it on Twitter.
So on
but
the
I
conference the other
haven't.
day,
Yeah, I
on the
saw it.
conference, whenever
Yeah,
they talked
So
about
here
it,
it is.
everybody rushed in.
everybody rushed in, and then everybody
Yeah.
was on top of
Probably-
each other
Did they
inside of it,
crash
just
it?
dropping into. No, they didn't crash it, but they were just
server?
dropping into the
That's
room, so
awesome.
they were all on top of each other, and there's no jump function, so that's the only way you could get up in that area.
Yeah, I'm playing on it right
I can
now.
tell
Let's
the
see.
joke soon.
I-
I'll tell the
I-
joke soon.
It's a little bit cruel to have a hair color when you're bald, like I am.
Mm.
That just
And-
seems
and
like
you
they're
can't-
kind of
you
trolling
can't
you.
Can't use pick skin color.
You can't choose it. No, it's
Yeah.
just, let's see, skin. There we
Skin-
go. Yeah, there's the skin color.
Try
wanna
to
be
select skin in hairstyle as well.
There we go. Hairstyle. That I've got a
Hairstyle. also
Jiminy
skin.
Christmas. This is fun. There's not a bald hairstyle though, is there?
I don't think so.
Nope,
So you
I'm
just
just
got to go
gonna-
with the mohawk.
I got to go
Doesn't-
with the mohawk because
Doesn't
I'm
doesn't
a
sound
rebel.
doesn't sound
body.
inclusive, man.
I don't see a dad bod on here either with the nice
It
little
looks
pooch
like
gut.
body, all this
That-
body.
that
shit.
That
one's
one's
pretty-
pretty dad.
That's pretty daddish. A dad.
shops
Yeah.
at Kohl's sort of thing.
All right, let's enter. Let's go. We got 2 players in here. Let's see. Take me to
Hey,
my
okay,
room.
why
Sure.
don't I tell the joke while you're moving
Tell me the
around,
joke, and
so
I'll
that-
be wandering around the gallery.
Look, there's other people in the gallery, and they have
we can
names.
get the
who's this?
comment out of the screen. So if I remember it correctly, you wanna know, or it's not like a joke. It's more of a like a question. So
Put your cursor on the wall. There you go.
what
It says select wall. Oh, so you can actually just pull these up.
What-
This is great.
what is
There are websites.
what
Sorry, we're
is-
talking over Finbear's jokes. We got to be quiet, and I'll just click on stuff.
He's got to
What?
punch us already.
God damn it, guys. What is green and has 37 tits?
A frog.
What's green and has 37 tits?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's the dumpster behind the breast cancer clinic.
Oh.
Wow. Well, where did you share this this joke from?
I think it was Disco Syndicate. It was the first time I was on. The first thing I asked them when I got on, because like you can only make first impressions once.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
It was
great.
The first time.
It's pretty cool.
This is pretty awesome.
Mm.
We got
I
one
don't
that's
see
floating here that I'm.
I don't see
backing
myself
into.
there anywhere. We should have a guy who has like his cross country skis and a little bit of snot on his beard and shit, and then like yeah,
You know which,
should be
wall you're on?
holding his,
He's
and
he's
then
not
it
on
could be
there.
a link to my video. I'm not on. Like I want to be there.
He would have his logo, that pure blood lion logo on that back
I don't
wall on
want
the
that.
bottom.
Yeah, I want a new logo because that pure blood thing doesn't come off right.
This is cool. So I don't know how to turn around, like to turn the gaze, like which direction I'm
Oh,
looking.
keys.
Yeah, I don't think
Is it-
there's anything on the back side of those walls that are facing you.
Okay.
So
Cool.
it's just like
Oh,
littered with stuff on that
Here we
back
go.
wall.
Welcome to the Hex Museum. By visiting this space in the metaverse, you're agreeing that nothing here is financial or legal advice. Listen, if you're going to the metaverse for your financial and legal advice, I can't.
Yeah.
Nobody can help
I
you.
can help you.
Yeah,
You're
get
done.
what you deserve.
You're done. Yeah, there's just hang it up right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Go take a
You're,
long
you're,
walk
you're
off
not
the
the,
shore
you're not
pier,
the
bro.
customer. You're not the customer. You're the commodity.
Yeah, this space is inside Portals, a project that runs on Solana. Oh, look at you, Solana. Look at you with something that's running. The space will change over time, blah, blah, blah. That's cool. Oh, and it's Hex Cadet. Did Hex Cadet, if I'm not wrong, if I'm right, he's the one that did that Hexcon video back in the day, right? That really awesome video where he's talking about
I remember his name from the earlier days, but I haven't seen him in a while. Of course, I've been wrapped up.
one
with
where
other stuff.
everyone is just like coming down so hard. Everyone, it's got the lawyers attacking Richard when he was like awake for 36 hours, and they're like, "Oh, we're trying to keep you out of jail, bro."
We're trying to help you. He's like,
Yeah.
calm down. I got this.
Richard's
Yeah.
going live in a bit.
He said it
Randy
hit, so
Randy
that
says thank you for
remembers
sharing the joke. Now she can share it at all of her company office parties or church,
Oh,
wherever
Randy,
wherever
I-
she
I ha-
tells jokes.
Randy, I have a few showstoppers for you that are gonna like. If you look at if you look anything like your avatar, like look, lady, I've got jokes to you. Like you will knock everybody out at the Christmas parties. You'll end the
gosh.
party with some of the jokes I have.
Yeah,
But I won't-
yeah. DM
Out of respect to Hexray, I won't do them here. But you
DM
can catch them
Finbear
on my stream.
for more corporate friendly stand-up comedy.
Yeah. You get them on my stream, not on
For your
not
your
when
next gig
See,
at
I'm
a
on-
children's hospital.
I'm
X-Ray, I
almost.
want
They'll be
your
able-
whole entire story redone by Finbearer and so I can just fall asleep listening to that beautiful story. Just
I was
copyright it.
actually I was thinking that I would want to read that story because I liked it so much that I would I
really
would love
good.
to read it. I would love to read it like a bedtime story.
I'll send it to you. Now the link that you sent me, I pulled it up on Twitter, and we're not. I wasn't even following you. How is that possible?
That's not actually me, but that's somebody I know who was right next to me because I'm not on
Okay.
Twitter. So if you're
Right.
following anybody who's Finbear, I bet they're really confused.
Got it. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
I was just kidding. I thought I was a bad Hexagon for not following
I
you.
was looking for.
Hey, that's an actually cool way to onboard people. We just send this link out to StreamYard and to see what random people show up and say, "Oh, welcome.
Yeah.
Glad you're
Yeah.
here. Let's talk about crypto."
What's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dirty
Please
Hex at night with Finn.
Please put your pants on, sir. Please.
Underwear required.
Yeah.
Guys, I got to get
It's
out of
even-
here. I got some
even
stuff I need to do.
mandatory. I
Yeah,
wonder
bounce.
how
And
long
it
it-
looks like
Thanks for having me.
Richard's going to be going live here in a little bit, supposedly. So we'll watch for that when he goes live. I'll just
gonna be
jump
super.
over there.
Yeah.
We should
So I
just
wonder
invite
if
him on
he's
here
gonna-
and let him go live, right?
Right?
Yeah, why not? It's practically the same thing. He could just post the link on his Twitter.
Mm-hmm.
How's the audio now? Is it too loud? Is it like
We got some feedback saying the audio's good. The audio's
I'm
good.
I'm kind of a greenhorn on this.
Yeah. So what do you guys thinking that March or June for the launch of Pulse Chain?
I'm gonna say March.
March. Yeah.
I think
Yeah,
April,
kind of-
May.
The way that he timed the sacrifice for
Before the
PulseX
summer,
ending
anyways.
at the end of Feb makes me think he's going to try for March. You know, like he's like, oh, maybe that'll be a good goal.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Who knows? But
Who knows?
that's when the hurricane hits, dude. We're going to have, it's going to be like having a hurricane, a typhoon, an earthquake. You know, it's going to be raining gay frogs or whatever. It's going to be crazy
Yeah, it's gonna be mad.
when this
Yeah.
stuff launches and
Cats
I
and
still
dogs will be friends.
cats and dogs making out in the street.
Yeah.
Honestly, though, I go back to my original thoughts on this. Is the longer it waits, I just feel more confident about it, though. You know, so it's okay if it takes a little longer. You know, he's got a lot to hold up to, and I think that he doesn't want to mess it up. And let's let it figure it out, just like Hex. Every other 4 weeks. You know. So
Do you agree? Do you agree that having Hex already as a finished product, it helps us? I said on my stream earlier today that I could go for a year pretty easy because I already have the Hex thing working
Right.
for me. So it's not as hard waiting now when there's already one working product. It was really difficult to wait for Hex when it was just an idea.
right, yeah.
But at the time, we also didn't know how awesome Hex was going to be, right?
Mm.
We were used to EOS
And now that
and all the other
now
ones
that-
that we had
now
tried
that we
to
do
make money
now
in.
that we do, it's gonna be really hard to wait.
Yeah.
But if
No,
it comes down to it,
yeah.
what else are we gonna do?
Right.
Fucking-
And I still don't completely understand the automatic market maker and liquidity bot and all of that that's going on. I keep reading these long threads where people are painstakingly, patiently explaining it, and it's
Mhm.
really hard to visualize in my mind. You know what that's
What-
going to look
what-
like.
What's difficult about it? Maybe I could.
Well,
say.
that a lot of people have been talking about the vampire attack, and I understand a vampire attack is simply when one network or chain sucks in all of the money and energy from the other chains, right? So, like we saw the vampire attack
all the
happen
users.
with Uniswap and PancakeSwap, right, or SushiSwap, where they basically just said, "Hey, we copied Uniswap and we're just giving out more money," and so everyone just ran over there, and that's when Uniswap gave out the Uni token to pull things back and give people a better deal. So I get that idea of the vampire attack, but the role that the bot has when it fixes the ratios and liquidity is hard to wrap my head around and hard to visualize.
Where it gets its liquidity. I dropped like the last 5 seconds what you said. I was following.
Oh no,
everything
I
you
was just saying I don't quite understand the liquidity or the ratio bot's role in the vampire attack. Like, I know that
well, if you create the copy on the other chain,
Mhm.
you would want it to have a similar value to the original chain to make the make the switch over to the new chain easier. And if you don't have enough liquidity on the bridge to bridge the value over to the new chain, it's going to be really difficult to sort of bridge over the value unless the entire sort of community decides to do so. But if the bridge is wide enough, then you can sort of leave it open and the value can move from side to side between the sort of the old chain and the new chain if somebody still wants to do something on the Ethereum side. So that would help, like if you have a marketplace where you can swap two things one for one always, then what it would automatically mean is that the price is going to be 1-to-1. If you think about the Hart's law thing, if you can, if the value is sort of bound together like that, then it means that if the price goes up on Pulse chain, it's going to reflect on the price also on the Ethereum side, because our bots are going to be making the arbitrage on the bridge and making sure that the price stays level.
Okay, yeah, because I mean, obviously, the ratio, like, because when Pulse
was a
comes
lot
out, it's only going to be worth
lot
a
of hand
fraction of a
movement.
penny. But
Yeah.
you've got Ethereum that is worth a few $1,000s, right? So that ratio's got to be translated,
Yeah.
because you can't have one Pulse worth one token worth a few $1,000s, because that just doesn't work.
What's worth a few $1,000s and what's worth what? Sorry, what?
Well, I'm saying that let's say that you had an Ethereum on Uniswap and you had a token that was worth the same price as the Ethereum, right? So at that point, one Ethereum would be worth one token that's about the same price as Ethereum. But if you move them over to Pulse, I mean, it's going to take hundreds of millions of Pulse to equal that same token, right?
Yeah.
And so that's my understanding of the bot,
but
is
you're
that it
not gonna
goes and
be-
fixes that
you're n-
ratio.
Yeah. So it's gonna buy up all the tokens from the pair that used to have like the token X and ETH. The pair is gonna be drained of the other token, and then it's gonna fill it up again so that it sort of equals in Pulse what it used to be in ETH, so that the value would be close enough when it launches.
Right. It's fixing
yeah.
that ratio because
Because it's gonna need a lot more Pulse. But if you think about a single token, like somebody used Link as an example, but if you imagine Link being worth something on Ethereum, it should have, in ideal situations, it should have the same value on the Pulse chain network as well.
on Pulse
Because
X.
because of the bridge. So you could bring your sort of old school Link onto the bridge and sort of introduce it to the Pulse counterpart, and then walk off the bridge to the greener pasture and do your stuff over there, and preferably like move over, leave your stuff, forget your old family, you have a better one over here, more obedient kids, 2 cars, simultaneous orgasms, everything. It's better on the other side, so stay on the new side. Let's not think about the old side anymore. That's the plan.
Yeah, that makes more sense. And then from what I understand, because we're PulseX is a fork of Uniswap, so at some block on Uniswap, you're going to have that fork or that copy of all the pairs that are locked up, as well as all the tokens on Ethereum, right? And so they're going to have to figure out how to tweak that so that the tokens don't show up more than once. Is that right? Because some of the Ethereum tokens are locked up, providing liquidity on Uniswap.
Yeah, they're
And
gonna be changed. So everything that is Ethereum now is gonna be Pulse after the fork on the new
Right.
chain, and the market fixer bot is gonna go in and do the first deal and completely sort of rug pull the market and take all the liquidity to itself. And when they build the bridge, they're gonna have so much liquidity that nobody, when the prices reboot, to take into consideration how much more pulse we have, nobody's gonna be able to sort of rug pull our market and sell their pulse tokens and take our value with them to the Ethereum side. So that's like the best part about the market fixer bot.
yeah,
I don't know. I think I'm gonna have to take a back seat and watch this, get some popcorn, and see how it plays out.
Yeah, it's gonna be
It's gonna
great,
be
but-
super interesting.
and this is the strategy, or what I've been trying to impart to anyone that's trying to figure out what to do during this next year. I say, DCA.
Yeah.
Every day or every week, whatever's on sale, buy what's on sale. You'll
Right.
know by looking at the charts of Hex versus Hex, or Hex versus Pulse, or Pulse versus PulseX. You'll be able to see whatever's on sale that day or that week, right?
Right.
And whatever's on sale, buy it. It doesn't even matter
That's a
which
good
one
point.
it is. And
Yeah.
then just do that for the first year. And basically you've bought an army of golden geese, golden goslings, right? Little baby golden geese.
Mhm.
And the problem that a lot of people are going to have is a year or two in the future, when it 100x's or 500x's, they're going to have these meat birds with these breasts that are big enough to eat, right? And so everyone's going to freak out. Sudden wealth syndrome is real.
Yep.
You know, if you've
Yeah.
never had $100,000 liquid somewhere
You've
before in
never
your
had
life,
$10 million before.
and you can reach out and touch it, it freaks you out.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of people that are going to be dumping these coins that they've made good money on after the first year or two, right? Yeah, I've got that pulled up as well. They're waiting on him. There's so much craziness going
Max,
on right now.
I got a question for you before you go. If you had one question or got a chance to talk to Richard, what would you ask him?
What would I ask Richard?
Yeah.
I don't think I have one for him, because every time I think of one, someone asks it. And usually it's like, what can we as a community do? Or, when's a lot of Richard. I respect Richard so much because he says, I don't know. If he doesn't know something, he says, I don't know, or we don't know yet. You listen to a lot of these gurus, a lot of these marketers in the space, and they come up with an answer for everything, even if they don't have one, And so most of my questions have been answered by Richard, and sometimes I'll hear someone like Kinetics or Hexo, or even the lady that was on that last interview that he did. I'll hear them ask a question I didn't even think to ask.
Right.
So I learn more listening to other people talk to him. What about you? What would you ask Richard?
I was just thinking about last night after listening to Marco, and I'm I don't know, maybe I wouldn't even ask a question, just say thank you, for what he's done the last couple of years and opening my eyes to the broader macro market and how all things kind of just tie together. He did mention something a couple of years ago about, he was talking to Bitcoin bros about, why do we waste that computational power? Why can't we use it for something else? And I was curious, maybe if I had a chance to ask him a question, like, has he ever thought of getting back, maybe having a side segment of a proof of fold like folding proteins, computating different medical.
Yeah, this CFD token that he had back in the day.
Yeah, I mean, would you think about getting back into something like that? And how could we leverage computational power to kind of go into that extending of life, but also do more more health related stuff. So
yeah, there's definitely
really
got to be a better place for this time, man hour, and energy.
Yeah.
Than where it's going right now. Which, like I said in that story, the idea of digital scarcity and 21 million Bitcoin has been debunked so many times.
Yep.
Because I mean, just look at the mining cartel. Those people extorting the network. If it comes to 2140, which is the last date that a significant amount of Hex is supposed or Bitcoin is supposed to be mined, what how do you stop the miners in that situation for being like,
Right.
We're gonna change the EXE.
Right.
We're just gonna change
and,
that
Who's gonna
part
stop
of the EXE.
and what difference does it make anyway when you can buy Bitcoin on paper for limitless amounts on where is it, CBME?
Yeah, and you can wrap it,
It doesn't
and
matter.
you can
Yeah,
duplicate it,
doesn't
and
matter.
you can fork it
Yeah,
anyways.
it doesn't matter how many Bitcoin contracts you open. They don't care about 21 million Bitcoins. They don't give a
It's a narrative, right? It's like an angle. RuneSky says, I'd just ask him to ask the devs to please pamp it.
Yeah, can't the
Pamp
devs
it.
do something? Yeah.
I would selfishly ask Richard Hart for a hug and a picture.
Yeah.
I don't
That's what I do.
imagine.
I try not to cry too much on his Gucci shirt, and I would just
I don't imagine ever getting to meet him or see him. But if I saw him, I would probably ask him to let me out of his trunk, and I would promise never to get back in there again.
I love
I don't know.
it.
He's answered all my questions, so I wouldn't have anything else than like silly fanboy stuff. Anyways,
Dude, the chat in Richard Hart's stream that hasn't even started is insane. I mean, just insane. Going on right now.
Jesus, 94,000 views on the video, and it says this is streamed 9 days ago. How can this be?
Yeah. Well, there's 1,693 people waiting for Richard to go live, and they are you can't keep up with the chat at all. It's just flying by. Just people just.
I wonder if this bodes well for the upcoming sacrifice type of stuff.
It's so crazy to remember, like when it was like 200 people, and then it just you see the evolution of it, and now it's like 3,000 average. You're just like, wow, you can see it starting to just really turn to viral. It's really neat to watch it all.
Yeah,
we got Renob and Bitfinesse. Oh, go ahead.
Hey guys, in the time that I've been on stream, there's been $10 million sacrificed.
Yeah, it's insane.
And it's not even that long.
It's insane. I think it's because people finally have found, like, more people are coming to the realization of what Pulse and PulseX is, and they miss Pulse, and now they're just like, holy cow.
This has to be the wrong link.
Renob and K-Sid Renob and Bitfinesse are talking about Over the Top, which
the arm wrestling movie.
That is an old movie, man.
I remember watching that. Sylvester Stallone movie.
Yeah, where he's driving the semi.
He's
he's lifting weights as he's driving the truck.
That's freaking awesome, man.
And then Sandra Larson, first of all, says this is creative and instructional, and then she says gross, Finbear. So you got another.
What did I do, man? I don't know what is gross.
I think she caught up to your joke. Bitfinesse says, I want to see who his parents are. Could you imagine if his mom still treats him like a kid and he just has to take it? I just want to see what they look like and what kinds of things they say.
Whose parents?
I think your parents. I think
My
Bifinus's
parents.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
yeah,
Renault says
no,
bromance is happening.
I think no. They pretty much treat me like a grown ass man. Already
Max, are you
That's
going to
good.
publish that story on
after.
Twitter?
I was thinking about just making it a really, really long stream. But as I read it out loud, I realized how much I wanted to edit it and change this and that. Because I think it needs more story and less. Basically, it's just a history,
It's pretty good.
a very short history of Bitcoin, then the evolution of smart contracts, then the evolution of Hex. Because I've been here for almost all of it. And aside from some of the privacy coins trying to do their thing, that's it. That's all you need to know about crypto is that there was a ledger online where people could mint coins and send them. That's it, just like Richard says. Then there was a smart contract platform, which was the first one, which was Ethereum. And then Ethereum stopped being Ethereum with the split, with the DAO hack. And then Hex showed up and gave us something better than our wildest dreams.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's all you need to know. And now you're going to have a new place to run Hex on that's better than the old place.
Cool
It's awesome.
story, bro.
Cool story, bro. Shout out to all the
That was
moms.
very cool.
I think he was talking about RH, guys, and maybe he is talking about RH. I have no idea.
Dads are pretty great too.
Dads are great, for sure. Oh, all right. Well, I've ran
Should
to
we
the end
wrap
of this.
it up?
We'll wrap it up, and depending on if RH is streaming or not, me and Tony are going to be doing a countdown. So you guys should join us there, and we'll just do
What
the
kind of a
countdown to the
countdown?
end of the big bonus. At what do we got? It's an
2
hour and a
hours.
half.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm guessing that this is the countdown is RH, right?
Oh yeah,
Probably.
probably the
Because
last
he wants to come in
hour.
at the end.
Yeah,
He
probably.
wants to be on screen when someone sacrifices $8 billion so
Yeah.
that he
And
can.
he's gonna be
He
like,
has
"Oh, look
plausible
at that!
deniability.
Yeah, he's like, "Oh,
Somebody
my private key."
sacrificed $1 billion. Who,
Yeah,
I
he's
wonder
got
who
he's
that
got his
was."
hands on screen. He's like,
Yeah, not
"Not
me,
me,
man.
bro."
Yeah. Oh, I
man.
just remembered a great joke, which I'm gonna tell at a later date.
All right. I'm gonna end this broadcast, and then this has been the strangest tech talk that I've had by far, but it was a good tech talk.
It was
and,
great for you to have me. Thank you very much for
thank you
being
very
so.
much for coming, guys.
Max,
Thank
I
you
love
very
your
much.
stream, man. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, and a big
You're a
thank
very
you to
patient
Eco
host.
Builder. I try. I'm getting the hang of this. So, thanks, guys,
Crushing
and
it, man.
we'll see you guys over in the crazy comments going
All
on
right.
over in Richard Hunt, I'm sure.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
See ya.
all right, see you.
See ya.